thunder in the sky. New lightning on the road. A new car. A hot car. Very new and very hot. The Jetfire. By Oldsmobile. The car that demands much more than a passing glance. From any angle, the Jetfire looks like a hot automobile. Always a conversation piece. Always poised. Ready to go. The car that holds out the promise of high adventure. But what's the Jetfire really like? It's like this. Put any driver behind the wheel. He'll feel the difference right away, even in city traffic. He'll know he's got something very, very unusual going for him up front. Whatever the road, the Jetfire gives him the sensation of total command. What accounts for this sensation? Is it roadability? Is it handling ease? What is there about the Jetfire? What makes it so different? What really separates the Jetfire from any other car you care to name? It's what's up there under the hood. No wonder the news about Jetfires getting around so fast. Can look under 10,000 hoods and never see the likes of that. Yes, the Jetfire's an exciting car. A car to go in. A car to have fun in. A car to talk about. But most of all, Jetfire is a car to drive. The big talk's about the Jetfire engine and the way it performs. But hearing about performance is not like being at the wheel. And even being at the wheel, just cruising along, a man can be cued in 100% on what to expect. And still, the Jetfire is going to hand him one king-size surprise. You can tell him about that gauge there on the control console. The one with the needle pointing to economy. About how when you bear down quick on the accelerator, the needle will swing over to power. And how that is when the Jetfire comes into its own. Still, he's not really with you until he tries it himself. It's like that. A real bona fide surprise and thrill when a man opens up a little in the Jetfire the first time. And the 100th time. The Jetfire thrill is calculated to wear well. Yes, the Jetfire thrill wears well. Even with real buffs on performance and power. Who owns a Jetfire is proud to show it in any company. Maybe most proudly to knowledgeable people. People who love high performance and know something about how you create it. He's really got something to show. The revolutionary new turbo rocket V8 engine with fluid injection. This is an Oldsmobile milestone. Oldsmobile has a lot of milestones to its credit. The introduction of the turbo rocket is a big one. As big as the introduction of Oldsmobile's famous rocket engine. The turbo rocket's that important. Important in power. Pound for pound, phenomenally powerful. The secret of that power, the Jetfire's ultra-high compression V8 aluminum engine with a fueling system that combines premium fuel, air, and turbo rocket fluid. The center of the system, the exhaust-driven turbocharger. Its big job, to pack more air and fuel mixture into the cylinders. That means more compression. More push on the pistons, more power on the road. The turbo rocket carburetor, a single barrel side draft type. See that tank? The turbo rocket fluid in there prevents pre-ignition. Makes precision firing in the combustion chamber certain when turbocharging. So there are three elements in the turbo rocket fuel mixture: air, gasoline, and the turbo rocket fluid. All three elements, here the turbo rocket fluid, here the gasoline and air, are drawn into the compressor. The compressor blades whirl the elements into a perfectly blended mix and compress the mixture before induction into the cylinders. The compressor turbine turns whenever the engine is running. The beauty of it is, no power from the engine is needed. Exhaust gas on its way out of the engine does the job. It's passed through this chamber to drive the turbine compressor blades. It spins them very fast. In rapid acceleration at high speed, the exhaust gas will spin the compressor turbine up to an incredible 90,000 revolutions a minute. This really gives you something extra, a tremendous increase in power when you need it. And the driver gets economy when he wants it. He doesn't always use the turbo rocket's capacity to increase power, not when he's moving easy in traffic. not even when he's cruising at ordinary turnpike speed. He's in economy range then, using the turbo rocket like a normal engine. But let him make a sudden demand for acceleration, and the turbo rocket answers instantly. Driven by the stronger exhaust, the compressor turbine spins at an incredible rate, and the fuel mixture is driven into the cylinders with hurricane force, boosting power almost 40%. At the wheel, there's that enormous silken surge of acceleration. That's the unmistakable mark of the Jetfire. It takes power to move like that. And every Jetfire, with the turbo rocket as standard equipment, has that kind of power. 215 horsepower, 1 horsepower for every cubic inch of displacement. Put the turbo rocket in the Jetfire, a car of trim weight and size, and you have a combination that can mean only one thing: sensational performance. Performance you can rely on. The turbo rocket has been under intensive development for 3 years. 3 years in which the mating of an aluminum V8 engine, turbocharging, and fluid injection was brought to a peak of operating efficiency and reliability. Tested 3 years in the engineering laboratories. Driven tens of thousands of miles. Driven to the outer limits of power and stamina. Twisting, punishing miles in the thin atmosphere of the slopes of the Great Divide. Blistering, power-devouring miles in the dry noonday heat of the desert. And the toughest test of all, the Chimney Rock Hill climb. The years of development and testing pay off. The new car lives up to the highest expectations. The engineering dream becomes a reality. The sporty two-door hardtop that sets a new par for power. The Jetfire, powered by the revolutionary turbo rocket engine, is here. Very new and very hot. From Oldsmobile. For people who prize power. People strong on sporting style. Now, there's a new way of discovering that something extra about owning an Olds. Jetfire.